Mr. Kanekoa. How you
What's up,
doing?
gentlemen? I'm doing great.
Really good. Great to have you back on the show. We see you pull out another great performance. How good you feel about that one?
I mean, Shetty at the same time because I got to know the guy that I was competing against. But in this sport, like I said before, you have to be malicious. You're coming here for a reason. Felt great with the win, walking away with another W.
Yeah. Last time I'm going to ask you, and then we'll move on. But Brandon Kerr, we see a little bit more of it. Give me 20 seconds, your true thoughts on the whole thing, seeing the footage back.
This kid is just, he's a professional gamer from, what I'm experiencing right now with this kid. He had nothing against me. He was going to end up on the canvas too. But, there's some news in the future with him and I. Hopefully it falls through. But at the same time, this kid is not on my level like I keep telling everyone, even him. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on him. That's the 20 seconds that I have.
Yeah. We've
Probably less.
seen, yeah, for sure. We've seen you give a lot of respect to Keifer Roberts for stepping in last minute so that you get that fight. Talk to me about the courage, I guess, that it takes. I'm sure in your MMA career, you probably stepped up last minute too, but talk to me about that and, truly how much respect you have for him filling in.
Absolutely. A lot of respect. And, coming in and having to cut weight the way that he had to do it, um, I give you nothing but respect because of that. And I've been there before, being in that predicament of cutting weight, fucking 30 pounds, sometimes 35 or more, right before a match. It's not great for you psychologically, physically. So coming in and taking a match last minute, I give him nothing but respect for that.
Absolutely. He's, sharing the same thing, echoing in the comments section there as well. Um, you know, it's showing you weight in here, 191 and a half, kind of in that middle, kind of tweener spot. Where does that really leave you? Where are you most comfortable? And, obviously
Oh,
we've seen you at 180 or 185. I guess this was a catch weight to kind of soften that blow. What did you do? Did you kind of just eat a couple Big Macs and drink a couple gallons of water and away you go?
nah, I just had a couple fucking micheladas, my guy,
Okay.
and some good steak. I believe Alan was cooking up like he was the only one that had like grade A elk, I believe, or something else, but that was really fucking great. And I wasn't gonna miss out on that, of course not. And we also had like a competition, like a food eating competition on the show that
Mhm.
I was the judge of. So having that access to that food, I was going to enjoy myself, knowing that Kiefer wasn't gonna make the weight, or he has to cut, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to match this guy. So there's no sense at me sticking around at 185. I hit 185 like 3 days before the weigh-in, and I always walk around at that weight class, so I
Mhm.
feel comfortable, and that way I can eat and I get to replenish throughout the camp.
Yeah. So how does Alan Klingbeil get elk and the rest of you don't?
You just got to put it on the list. I believe it was something else though. It was like really great.
Bison. He said
Yeah, it was
bison.
bison. That
Okay,
shit was
okay.
awesome.
Okay, so Alan was a little bit more clever, I guess, in getting some of the exotic meats.
Well, everyone was picking like certain food and stuff. By the way, there was a shit ton of fucking chocolate milk in that house. I've never seen a bunch of grown men drinking a shit ton of
I
chocolate
was
milk.
I was gonna
I'm like,
say.
what the fuck? But it was great. I mean, the experience overall was amazing. And if you were smart enough to go into the house with the right things that you need for a camp, then utilize it to your fullest, right? And that's what the production is for. They're going to give you, we had this like paper that you could write on top to request anything. And I believe, Hercules, he was talking about getting a haircut. We got a haircut and somewhat, and also massages. And so that was the things that we needed to utilize for our competition. A
Mhm.
good haircut, looking great, a massage before going into battle, feeling great. That's how you should show up of your performance or wins.
Mhm. Awesome, man. One last one for me. I'm not sure if you've seen it earlier, but obviously we had Josh Newsom on the show, and he actually believed that his next match should be against you. Is that
Yeah.
something you'd welcome, and how great do you think that would be?
I would love it. I mean, if our stars align, I just messaged him too. Like, he's a really great kid. he kept it to himself throughout the whole show. Super humble. So I know the most humble guys are the ones that you have to look out for. So I mean, I don't mind, but at the same time, you're gonna have to match my energy, my guy, because I am the person that everyone wants to see at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Ding, over to you.
Chief, congratulations, man. Obviously, you're somebody that we were all very excited to see. Obviously, you had that good performance in your first fight, but there was that little asterisk. So I'm sure for you it was a pleasure to be able to kind of remedy that, if you will, right? Get in the win column. Now, I didn't commit to not talking about Brandon Kerr. That was Corey. So my only question is, you got to deliver the news that he was out of the house. How did that all come together, and why was that privilege bestowed upon you?
Well, then again, like I said, I'm walking into the house with this dog mentality, knowing that I'm going to take over. And it's not just take over, in my division, but it's also to take over and show my dominance as the chief. And that's the reason why I was given the privilege to, put your name on the board. I put several other fighters' names on the board. I believe they left that out. But this is the chief show. This season is the chief show. And I'm here to take over, not to take part, right?
Yeah, man, and just a second question from me related to that. What was it like, being in the house with your brother? Obviously, you're in your own a world of your own there because you're the only person that had that experience. But your
Hmm.
blood brother's in the house, and you're getting into scuffles. And I know for him that was emotional. Obviously, he didn't really get into any scuffles that we saw per se. Obviously, he had some words with a couple people, and he was in the middle of some scuffles between other people. But what were your thoughts just generally, knowing that you have a true ally, right? Your brother in the house with you as these things are all happening.
Amazing. Having someone that I can trust and know that's going to get my back no matter what, that's the best feeling in the world. But at the same time, I'm a man. I'm a man of combat, of blood and violence. So he knows that I can defend my own, and you know, I was there to be the bad guy, I guess. If everyone wants to call me the villain or portray me as the villain, whatever, it is what it is. And coming into the show, I had one thing to do, and that's to start drama as much as possible because that's what the fans want. They don't want people to be like, "Hey, brother, this and that." Like it's more than that, The fans want to see a show. The fans want to see action at the ending of it. That's what they're tuning in for every single week. So that's what I came there for. Having my brother on the show, amazing because it's not just myself, but it's another fellow Hawaiian that's on the same platform as myself and many other Hawaiians too.
Amazing, man. All right, let's I mean it's short, but let's go through your fight. You guys are pretty close in attributes. I mean, all things considered, right? I think, look, so you see that respect that you just talked about.
Hmm.
Did you have any concern? I mean, you don't know this guy. Obviously, you know he's having a weight cut, but did you have any respect for that he might be able to do something major to you?
No, not at all. I mean, like I said, coming off from a weight cut because I'm familiar with it. Coming off from a weight cut, you're not coming into the fight 100%. You're coming into the fight.
Let's see here. So
No, no worries.
that was a good one. So you like go slowly. You like this will be quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was an interesting one, right? Because he wasn't like out per se or anything like that. He looked like he was a little on his feet. But the
Hmm.
reason it gets stopped is not the reason you would think, right? It's more because he what he says to the doctor, right, about his sight, about his hearing. Um, were you surprised by the stoppage given from his reaction, right? Obviously, I don't know if you can you hear what he's saying to the doctor or
Yeah,
anything in that? Okay, so you're
absolutely.
kind of able to follow it in real time.
I knew already by the time he got up from the 8 count that, especially wobbling, that his mind was not there fully. And he didn't, I mean, if we had more time on the board to recover for sure, he probably would have stepped up to the plate again. But again, it's just one and done for me. To elaborate on that strike, if you notice me throwing a lot slower than my first fight in power slap, that's because I have a lot of respect for my opponent. And at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all have a family. We have kids that look up to us. We have people that we have to go home to. you know. So I'm not trying to end his world and, you know, put him out cold. No, I want him to get up and have a drink with me after, or, you know, like share a conversation with me. I don't want to put someone in the hospital and then knowing that, damn, fuck, this guy has a family back home and I just ended his, you know, career. But that wasn't going to happen. That's the reason why there's some resilience on that slap. I held back a little bit. So again, going against my next opponent, it's not going to happen. And I'm going to say this now. It's always going to be measure on one and done.
I love it, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, we just did a full-blown interview, you and Corey, just I think either a couple of days ago or last week. That's released. So for anybody who hasn't seen that full interview, we get to see and hear more from you. You know, we'll be looking forward to the news about you and Brandon Kerr. I know you alluded to it a minute ago. And so, you know, a class act. Again, happy that you were able to get into the win column. And, you know, we look forward to watching your career, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Awesome, man. Take care, dude.
Talk soon.
Thanks, buddy.